All right, so we're going to finish covering the Snowball page here. So the Snowball is the fastest way to get out of debt. Um, and there's several important things on this page. Of course, first of all, it shows you what all your credit cards are, what all your loans are. So this is your total debt. This is the number that you're trying to get down to zero. It tells you what the total limit was. This is your credit card limit or the amount of debt that you borrowed initially. This is all your payments, and of course, including the Snowball payment, which has no balance and no limit. Your interest rates, how much you're paying towards interest, and what's your percent limited. So of the overall debt, we're at about 80% of overall debt, which is fine. Over here we have our summary. So this is our total principal that we're paying off. This is our monthly payment, and this is, of course, includes your Snowball. This is the number of months it's going to take to pay it off. This is the amount of interest that you'll be paying on this debt, and this is your effective interest rate. So this means that if you were to take out a loan for $236,000 for 89 months, you would have an interest rate and paid $3,160 a month. The interest rate would be 4.82. So that's basically the equivalent loan. So if you got everybody talks about debt consolidation. Well, the only way to beat the interest rate of this Snowball is to get a debt consolidation loan of less than 5% for 89 months. This tells you what your age's payoff is in your account over here. You can set your birthday. It's about the only personal information we ask for. So this tells me that I will be about 43 years old when all of this debt is paid off, and then based on when you get it paid off, that's how many you can now calculate approximately how many years it is for you to retire at 65. So I've got about 21 and a half years to put away $3,100 of principal every month, which means that I'm going to have $818,000 in capital that I will have to apply towards investments and other things. This is the important number. You don't go into retirement planning on interest and capital and compounding interest or whatever. You go into retirement counting on, I'm putting this much money towards my retirement. And notice that it's only $3,000 a month, and it's only for 21 years, and it doesn't even start till I'm 43. So many banks are like, oh, you got to start investing now, you got to start saving now if you want to retire. No, you don't. It's a bunch of crap. You make a good job, you make a good living, you work hard, you can get to $1 million no trouble. And this isn't $1 million in today's dollars. This is $1 million in 10 years from now dollars. So that's the other problem. You start saving when think about how much a penny was worth back in the early 1900s. That was a lot of money. How much is a penny worth now? It's nothing. So if you'd script and save for those pennies 20 years ago, 30 years ago, those pennies would be worth nothing, and those pennies could have done a lot more work 20 years ago. Those pennies could have paid off a lot more debt, could have bought a lot more stuff back then. Their depreciation is killing you. So don't rush to save money. Get out of debt, get the things you need, and save up money, a lot of money, very quickly, very close to retirement, so it maintains its value. And then this just breaks down the Snowball. It actually shows you what your debt looks like. So I can see this is my principal balance. So it goes all the way down to zero, approximately, because that's the last monthly payment. I can see how much interest I've paid. I can see how much has gone to interest. So I start out with $967 going towards interest. You see that drops off pretty quickly as we go through. So in 5 years, I'll be down to only $300 a month that'll be going towards interest, and a whole lot more money going towards principal, paying off that debt faster and faster. And then this is ordering the debts by interest rate. So Discover currently has the highest interest rate. Then we have the My Fed loan, which is the student loans, Wells Fargo, which is the home loan, and Chase, which is currently on 0%. So notice I'm paying more on that because that's going to reset to a much higher interest rate. So you have to think about where your money should go. This is ordering it based on just what the interest rate you put in there, but you got to put your money where it makes the most sense. And if you have a 0% offer, it's usually going to last for a year, so you need to treat it as though that card has a much higher interest rate. But anyway, at the end of it, in less than 8 years, all the debt will be paid off. And then I'm ready to go for retirement. So this is the important thing right here, is your age at payoff. Okay, if you just write down what my snowball is, you have no idea if you're getting ahead or behind on it. By having an actual payoff date, if this number goes up, that means you're getting behind. If it goes down, you know you're getting ahead. And this allows you to say, you know what, my goal is I want to be out of debt at 45. I'm going to put as much money as I can on my debt so that I'm completely out of debt at 45, and anything I make above that, we're going to go have some fun with. You know, a lot of people say, oh, Dave Ramsey, you're so focused on debt, you can't have any fun. You're a big miser with money. No, that's not how that works. You get a plan. As soon as the plan is met, you can do whatever you want with the money after that. You want to go to Disneyland? Fine, because your plan is in motion. It's being covered. It's paid for. If you want to speed up your plan, you can do that. Whatever, it's your decision. Nobody's telling you how you have to get your money, but you do want to get out of debt, and you can have fun at the same time, or you can just get out of debt faster. Doesn't matter. It's your goal. So anyway, the other one that's important is the opportunity cost, and this is where if you're not quite sold on this idea that maybe I should invest first, maybe just because I have debt right now, it really sounds a little bit crazy to wait until I'm 45 to start putting money into an investment account. I mean, investment accounts have the potential to do all kinds of stuff. Yeah, they have the potential to lose everything. Debt pays. Paying off your debt pays you in the future. So if you have a 10% debt now and you're paying off that 10%, you're paying off that debt, you're making a 10% return, and you're going to see that return in the future. With a stock market and a stock, you're putting money on it and you're expecting to see a return immediately. So what this page here does, is prove to you that whether you should put money on debt or put money on an investment. And it goes from 1 to 10%. And we know that from our math on the Snowball page that it does for you, that our interest rate is about 4.8%. So let's start with 1%. So let's say I've got this investment, I've got this high yield, which is a load of garbage that they call them now, 1% high yield savings account. I'm going to put my money in there because I'm going to make some money. Even though I've got debt, I want to get this 1% and make some money right now. All right. So let's look at what would happen if we put all of our money on debt first, or if we invested it first. So at first, we don't have any extra money to put into there because we haven't freed up any money from our debt, our debts. All the money is being paid towards bills. We haven't paid off something to free up a payment. So in about 24 months, we free up about $210 because something got paid off. So we freed up $210. We're going to immediately put that into a bank account, and we're going to get a 1% return on that, and that's going to be great. Over here, we're still paying debt, so we've got nothing. We've got nothing going in until we pay off our debt. And look how this is growing over here. Okay, I've got something paid off. I'm putting it into I'm gaining 1%. So I'm getting my 1% on all this money that I'm freeing up. Whoa! Now I'm out of debt. Now I've got money that's going into investment. Now all of the money that was attributed to the Snowball, so in my case, $3,100 or whatever it was, that's all going to the Snowball, or going into the all that Snowball is going into investments. But I didn't start for 139 months, so I've already got 89. If I had put money away instead of putting it on debt, at this point, at 139 months, which is 10 years from now, I would have $89,000, and that sounds like a lot of money. And over in here, I look like a big dope. I got nothing for retirement because I waited until I had absolutely no debt before I started investing anything. So let's watch and see what happens. This is a 1% return. This is me just getting this. Now I'm getting 1% return on the money that's now no longer needed for the Snowball. Let's see what happens when we get to retirement. You can already see that, wow, we're catching up. $255,000 versus $267,000. This is me waiting until after I pay off all my debts. This is me immediately investing everything that I can. I'm going to hurry up. We get down to the end. I wait 139 months, then start putting my money into my 1% account. I have $500,000. By investing first, by not focusing on my debts, only $459. You lost $50,000 by not waiting 10 years to start investing if you could get only a 1% return. That's why you don't rush to invest.